I'm here on the back nine. I'm on hole number 16. This is a tale of two nines.
To walk out here, found me a new course. To walk is $15. It's my kind of golf. I like that. I'm out here early, so there's not a lot of people. It's about a 25-minute drive to get out here. There's closer courses, but you know, don't mind driving for a good deal.
All right, so we're off on the first hole. So, you know, trying to beat the heat. I got out here before 7 a.m. tee off. First hole's a par 5, 471 yards, which by today's standards is a relatively short par 5, or average par 5, I guess. No warm-up, no nothing. Piped it right down the center of the fairway. I'm gonna get my laser and shoot back to the piece of granite that's beside the tee box, because I want to check and see just what that yardage was. Okay, par 3 is shooting about 165 to the center. I'm gonna hit a 6-iron, but it's gonna be, I don't know, for me that would normally be just a 7-iron, but I'm gonna hit a 6 just to make an easier swing and see what I come up with. Okay, so that one's not good. It's not awful. I just left it at a little right. I caught it a little thin, so I'm gonna try again. Just for, I'm just practicing today, but I'm gonna play the first ball, but I want to see if I can get it right. Nope. Now the doubt's creeping in. That was terrible. It was fat. It was just everything collapsed. Wasn't focused at all. So a little bit of doubt creeping in my head. That's me. That's a bogey. That's okay. I mean, put it up in the trees on the right. It happens. You know, my confidence is a little shaken. So that's just me. I need to fix that. I mean, just focus on stillness. You get back to that. Trust it. So I'm on a 291-yard par 4. I'm gonna show you this hole. The sun in the way, so might not be the best shot. 291-yard par 4, which is a short par 4, but it's pretty damn tight. I just pulled up a 5-iron, trusted it. I'm in the dead center of the fairway up there. There's my ball, and there's the tee box back there with the ball. I just shot back to that, and it's 192. And this fairway's tight. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm on one side. I'm at the cart path, and there's the trees. I mean, that's tight, y'all. That's insanely tight. So I'm happy to hit this fairway. This is going to be a tough shot. I'm into the sun. I've got right at 100 yards. I've got my 50 degree. I'm going to hit. I've got a little bit of a downhill lie. So let's see. This is a real test of the technique here. Hold still. Can't see it, I lost it in the sun. It sounded like it might have hit something solid up there, I can't see. Felt like I struck it well though, off of a downhill lie, ball below my feet, and I'm tilted kind of this way. I mean, that's difficult, so if it's on the green. Alright, so we are on the green. There it is, right there. And there's the flag. I'm about, I'm gonna call it 20 feet away. I just made it onto a fairway and onto a green, than a tight shoot of a hole. And this is what we like to call in the industry a birdie putt. Okay, write that down. All right, so that's a par. I'll take that. Hit that one very strong, very solid, great contact. Just left it out right. We're gonna see how that is. Okay, so I walked right past it initially and came back. So I'm not nearly as far right as I thought. I've actually got an opening. The ball's here. Roots, tight packed sand, no grass. I'm gonna just try and make solid contact with a 7-iron and get it somewhere out the fairway. I really have no way of knowing how this is going to come out. Well, that worked. I made really solid contact. So that's pretty damn good right there. Let's see if I can make this putt for bogey. So not bad, solid contact. Overcooked it a little bit and then left. Okay, so I ended up hooking that one left behind a tree, but I had a pretty clear shot. I had trees overhanging from the top. And I played a sort of a knockdown 6-iron. Just played it back in my stance. I had 150 in, and so I ended up about 20 yards short of the green. That horn has been honking. For like 20 minutes. Yeah, so anyway, I'm about 30 yards away here. That was my punch from out of those trees. Gonna see how my short game works. See if I can't get up and down here and make a par. Oh, woefully short. It's dead on line, good contact, good strike. I just don't know my distances yet, so yeah, typical. It's gonna be pretty close on the green. It's a par 3, about 145. I hit a 9-iron because that was my typical yardage, and I wanted to really put it to the test and see how my yardages work. So if I'm fairly close to the green, I know I'm pretty close to those yardages. So let's go down here and find out. Oh my God. All right, so I was 145 away. I hit a 9-iron, thinking, okay, if I come up a little short, that's fine because there's trees behind it. I'd rather be short than long. And I get down here and I see where I am. So here we go. I have not played a bunker shot in months, and I certainly have not tried it with my new swing. So, all right, let's see how this little experiment goes. Okay, so yeah, I wish the results were better, but I'm out. I've never tried that before. My God, these fairways are tight. Look at this. It's a shoot. All right, struck very solid, much better. I still hooked it a little bit, so you know, that's just me. So I am about, I don't know, you can probably see this cart path going up here. I'm about 15 to 20 yards left of that cart path off the tee, which it's about 20 to 22 yards offline to the left. These are seriously tight fairways, so this is an extreme test. I got this big tree in front. I'm just going to pitch it out here with a 58 into the middle of the fairway. We're going to give ourselves a real test. I know I'm into the sun and you guys probably can't see this, but this is about as wide open out here as I've seen yet. Okay, 5-iron from 185 out. Green's up there, just kind of unprotected. The perfect opportunity to see what I can accomplish here. It's way out off the toe. Bad contact and hooked. Jim said in one of his videos, I put my weight on my left foot and I keep it there. That sounds so simple, but he's always talking to me about finding a deeper understanding and a deeper meaning of the fundamentals of the swing and stillness. So I'm focusing my thoughts on the bottom of my foot. And I reckon that if I can't feel pressure changes in the bottom of my foot during the swing, then that means I'm holding really still. Just pipe this drive right down the middle of the fairway on a par 5, and it was fairly tight coming off the tee. I don't know how far I've got, but it's a long way, so I'm not going for it in 2. It's a par 5. So I'm gonna hit a 7-iron just out to the middle. It's 2 pure shots in a row. Gonna continue the back 9. This is number 10. First 9, not that great. Didn't focus much on stillness. On this 9, I'm thinking about the bottom of my foot. I don't want to feel any pressure changes at all. I do the work in the setup. Lies bent tight. Plenty of green to work with. Bunker, not even there. fly at about 20 yards. That's a gimme and a par 5. Okay, so I'm walking up here toward the green. I was about 165 out. I decided to hit a smooth 6-iron, and I had a tree branch coming over, blocking my normal right to left draw. So what do you got to do? I'm sitting in the middle of the fairway. What do you got to do? You got to hit a fade. You got to hit a fade. You have to. I've never tried to hit a fade with my swing. My new swing, excuse me. I used to hit fade. But I remember Jim saying it's the same thing. You just aim more left and you just hold on to it just a split second longer. So that's what I did. But I couldn't put my focus on holding it for a split second longer. I have to keep my focus on the bottom of my left foot. I did that. And my subconscious just took over with holding it off. And I hit a fade. I hit a fade and I hit it flush. Unfortunately, I hit a good fade, more than I thought I was going to hit, and it ended up being right of this pin, and I'm in the bunker again. .303-yard par 4. It's wide open down to the left. Off to the right, you're in trouble. I'm going to have to keep this one a tight draw with the driver, but no trouble. I'm going to see what I can get. It's all about experimentation today. I don't know if you could hear that, but if ever there was a solid shot, that one's it. Tight draw, no effort, pipe down the middle. Let's go find it. All right, so pins in the middle, shot the middle of the green. I got 55 left. That means I hit my drive about 250, 260, somewhere in there. Only real trouble is this left front bunker. So I don't want to be, short, definitely. But long, it looks like the backside drops off. So distance control is going to be crucial here, and really that's not one of my strengths at this time because I haven't made a yardage card, but I've got a good feeling. I'm just going to feel this one out and see what I can do. I caught that one a little off the toe, and I'm a couple yards short. That's a blown opportunity, and that's got nothing to do with the technique or the method. That's got everything to do with the fact that I haven't built a yardage card yet. So I definitely got to do that. When I get my new clubs, that's the first thing I'm going to do is chart yardages. The front 9 was more the old Chad way. Like sort of a second or third place thought about stillness. Even though I thought I was thinking about stillness, I really wasn't. The swing path and distances and yardages and all that stuff was coming into my mind. Back 9, I have not missed a fairway yet. If I end up hitting every fairway on this back 9, that will be something that I've never done. And I know a lot of people would say, oh, I don't jinx it. No, I want the pressure. I want the pressure on me to hit this and the next 2 fairways, whatever. This course has been very tight off the tee. I'm not kidding. There you go. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, out here, I'm out in Selma at a course called Cardinal Country Club. It's an old school course, probably been here for a long time, never played it before. It's 94 degrees today. I got out here at 7:30, trying to beat the heat, walking. walking by myself on my way out here to drive out. I decided to make my focus not so much fairways or greens or how many putts I had or what my score was or how many times I hit the ball well versus how many times I didn't hit it well. My goal was to try and stay as still as I could on every shot. And I think on this backside I've done a lot of that. I'm very, very pleased with how still I am on the backside. My only issues seem to come with long irons, sort of out of the fairway. I continue to not trust the yardage. I think 200 yards 4-iron, and you don't trust that club is going to go that distance. So anybody out there that's struggling with those same things, that's probably something you need to look into. I found a whole nother wrinkle in stillness today on the drive in. It's about a 25-minute drive out here for me. Oh, you lost that one, right? I was coming through the tobacco fields, just rows and rows and rows of them passing me by like soldiers standing out there in the clay and the sand. And every now and then you'll come across an old tobacco barn sitting there. And if you ever seen the tobacco barns down south, driven past them, you know they're weathered. The roofs don't work anymore. The walls got holes all in them. It's all weathered wood, and they've probably been there for a century, maybe longer. Those tobacco barns haven't moved in 100 years, but they've done a whole lot of work. And that started to sort of tell me something, that you can do a lot of work without moving, by being relatively still. I always felt like when I was younger, unless I was throwing dirt with a shovel or slinging block or laying brick or carrying 2x4s or whatever, that I wasn't really working unless I was moving. And then you think about those tobacco barns that haven't moved in 100 years and all the work they've done. And then you think about somebody sitting at their desk at a computer. They aren't moving that much, just their fingers. Think about all the work they're getting done. And then think about me driving out here. I wasn't physically moving my body that much at all, but I traveled 25 minutes, 20 plus miles, made turns, all without moving from my spot. I held my position in my seat, and then I did all that work without any effort, without moving.